Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September into early October 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Geminis. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Shuffle it up here one time, my guides. Talk to me. What's up with the Geminis, please? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini. Guides, talk to me. What's going on, my friends? Thank you. All right, that came out nice and quick. Very dreamy. I often see this with water signs a lot. So for some of you, it could be highlighting a water sign you're connected to. Very dreamy, very sleep-oriented as well. Might be having some very interesting dreams here, my Gemini friends. There's a lot of nuance to this card. Now, before we start breaking down all the symbolism, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you're interested in channel memberships, check out the pinned comment down below. I'm doing a very special reading for members this month. And finally, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. That's it, I promise. We have this individual here. They look like a sleepy sleephead, right? Look at them. They're in their pajamas. They got the sleep cap on, closed eyes. There's dream catchers, the etheric background. So it does give me water sign vibes, like I already mentioned. But when I see this, Spirit could be highlighting sleep for some reason or another for you. Maybe you're having some issues sleeping. Maybe you're sleeping more than you normally are. Could go either way here. This card often comes up as well when Spirit is asking you to like really pay attention to your dreams, because there might be something reaching out to you, trying to give you messages through the sleep state. So maybe dream journal a little bit. But there is something linked to the sleep state and dreams. For some of you, it could be starting a new meditation practice, connecting with your inner voice spiritually. When I see all this dreamy energy as well, it could be a very luscious imagination. So if your mind's been going quite a bit, Spirit could be asking you to release that energy. Don't keep it trapped in. Don't keep it etheric within the mind. Let it out. You might need some sort of outlet for your mind or your creativity, okay? Whether it's art or whatever is comfortable for you. But let's get into tarot. I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote for us. Let's get your 3 cards into upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive, juicy stuff. So let's see what we got going on here for the lovely Geminis, my guides. Talk to me. What's going on for my friends? And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. It was another doozy, my friends. Seems like we've been having some choppy energies to contend with recently, Gemini. But last week's reading was titled Big Karmic Ending. There was karmic energy all over the reading. I would say like 3 or 4 of the cards were karmic based in nature. And that speaks about the cycles of life, the beginnings, the endings, the circle of life, right? I'm sure you've seen The Lion King. But hopefully if you've been going through any, it hasn't been too rough on you, right? Because life is all about those tough cycles. And that could still bleed over into the coming days and weeks. It's all good though. But let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because it could be your energy. It could be someone else's, right? It's all about how it pertains to your situation. Okay, let's go. Let's get your 3 cards out here, my guides. Thank you. Okay, ooh, talk about dreamy. We have the High Priestess in position number 1. Yeah, we're going to have to talk about her. I always like when she shows up in a reading, specifically in the beginning. There might be a little mystery here, a little mystery. There's a lot of subtle energy with her. It reminds me of that dream card we had in the very beginning as well, more water. So much water energy here. We have the Chariot getting a move on, right? Let's get a couple more, or get one more rather, unless a bonus pops out. Totally different energy. And all right, we have good energy on the back end here. So we have a lot of action showing up towards the back end of this spread, Gemini. And it looks like we are changing energies this week. So far, we still got to clarify all this. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, there is a lot of internal water energy. So emotions, the subtle vibes, with the High Priestess and the Chariot. These are both extremely powerful major arcana and archetypes. So we'll break them down one by one, but we have this beautiful card of victory on the back end. So things are looking okay so far. Let's break it down one by one. In position number 1, we have the High Priestess. Super intriguing card. Now, classically, she is connected to the Pisces collective. In my personal style, I like to link her to all water signs, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, because they all have little aspects of her. When we see the High Priestess, I always say she is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She is a huge card of intuition, so Spirit might be asking you to trust your gut about something. When the High Priestess shows up, you might be extra energetically sensitive in this time. So whether that's picking up the energy of those around you, picking up the energy of certain places you go to, an energetic connection with somebody that you share a chord with, she shows up to let us know the deal about that. But a big thing with her is, although she is so sensitive and so keen on subtle energies, she's silent, right? She's not talking. Notice she holds that volume of sacred law, and she's not giving any of those secrets away. So when we see the High Priestess, we can think about a little secrecy or something that's within, the hidden, the unexpected, the unknown. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens with her, because as we move on, the High Priestess is very still, and we're moving into full-fledged action as we move into the Chariot right up the center. Now, the Chariot, this is linked to the zodiac sign of Cancer. Okay, this is a card that could represent travel and distance, forward movement, forward momentum. This is a card of action. So when I say it, you could be either going to something or away from something. We'll just have to see when we clarify it. Now, if you're not linked to Cancer, I always say this is a very determined type of card. Very action-based, and it's probably the fastest moving in the whole entire deck. So we think of those explosive energies, the things that pick up steam very quick. So when we go from a High Priestess into a Chariot, it's an energy that's coming out of nowhere. There's a lot of surprise linked in with this, which doesn't surprise me that you're getting surprised in this spread. The Chariot, I always say there's a little warning attached to this card that we should always heed, is that chariots were originally made as instruments of war. When you go back into ancient history, ancient antiquity, people created and used chariots for war purposes. So watch out for conflict in this time. Could be internal emotional conflict, could be outer. Okay, we'll just have to see when we clarify. I just knocked the High Priestess off her bearings. Let's get her back. All right, now moving to the back end is where we get into so much positivity. We got the Six of Wands, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. I do link this card to the Leo collective. I do believe astrologically that's what this connects to. And when this card shows up, it represents some sort of incoming win or victory here. This is an extremely triumphant, victorious type of energy. So we like to see it, especially if something's popping up out of nowhere on the back end. This could be a good result. This card often shows up when you gain notoriety, when you get kudos, when you have recognition for the things that you've done. This is a card of the spotlight, because notice the person, they are in a parade and they're holding the laurels and everything. So this is a beautiful card. However, the challenge that's linked with this card is a challenge of ego. You might be connected to someone that's a little bit egotistical, that thinks everything revolves around them. Okay, so it's something to watch out for. Obviously, I don't want to turn a positive card into a challenge, but it all really depends on what the clarifiers are. But it's like out of nowhere, full-fledged action. It's kind of like a snowball going down a hill. That's what I'm picking up here, Gemini. But I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. Almost tower-like, the way that High Priestess goes to Chariot. Like, it's such a jarring energy. Not necessarily bad, though. But yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that High Priestess. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, High Priestess time. Let's keep it rocking. Why is the High Priestess here? Thank you. Beautiful. Wow. My friends, you might have a surprise of a good kind coming in here. We have the Four of Wands, the 1111 card. Wow. Signs, synchronicities from Spirit. Tap in. A lot of you might feel like you're receiving messages from Spirit. Obviously not every single Gemini. There's different levels to sensitivity, but I see for a lot of Geminis there's like an increased level of sensitivity, and you might feel like you're receiving, whether it is number signs, the synchronicities, like I said, from Spirit. Now, the Four of Wands is an extremely stable type of card. It's a card of celebrating. It's a card of victory, parties, right? Usually big get-togethers of people. So aside from that powerful spiritual message, which could represent omens, when I see this under a card of mystery like the High Priestess, it's like something might really go your way unexpectedly. So it could be like an unexpected win or victory, or a surprising win or victory, especially since I said like we have this tower type of energy sweeping across, moving towards victory. So we're looking good so far, Gemini. It's looking like you might be coming out of something tough into something much more positive, judging by recent weeks. But I love the stability of this Four of Wands. It's a little pat on the shoulder from Spirit saying, hey, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Okay, this is super stable. Now, for some of you, this could represent connections with, you know, where you live, the home. The Four of Wands does connect to the home. But I feel mainly for a lot of you, this is linked to signs and omens from Spirit, but also like an unexpected or surprising win or victory. Straight up. Let's keep moving. I feel like we don't need to overcomplicate that. It's a beautiful energy. Let's see why the Chariot's here. See if it links in more to what we're already feeling. Because it's like coming out of this slow, not moving, not speaking time, boom, straight out. So let's see why the Chariot is in the mix. It's a nice energy so far. And even if you're cross-watching for a Gemini, like this could bode very well for you, whatever situations you're going through with that Gemini, with the said Gemini. Better. Improvement. We have the Six of Swords in the upright underneath this Chariot. This feels good, my friends. You might be getting or gaining improvements in various different areas of life. That's just what it feels like to me. The Six of Swords in the upright is like moving forward with optimism. Add the choppy times into the better. So I am picking up still this unexpected, surprising shift of energy from challenge into positive. And it's a double down of it right here in the front end. In its worst case scenario, I will say this, for a very small portion of Geminis, with the Chariot and the Six of Swords, you might feel left behind by someone or something, or you may feel little abandonment feelings like the Five of Pentacles. Obviously not every single Gemini, but still, even if that is the case, even if you're feeling left behind, if you're feeling abandoned, left in the dust, this is Spirit saying, once again, that pat on the back, everything is going to be okay. You're going to keep moving forward. Everything's going to be fine. And I'm still getting improvements, like doubling down right here in the front end. Both of these feel extremely positive to me. Even though we do have that little possible challenge that you might be contending with, it's all good. Let's keep moving over to that Six of Wands. And we'll do a quick little recap of this whole entire spread. Feeling all right so far. I would claim these energies for sure. So let's see why the Six of Wands is in the mix for you. And we'll do our recap. So why is the Six of Wands here? Okay. The first shuffle a card came out. Yeah. Good. Magnetic type of energy. We have the Five of Swords in reverse underneath the Six of Wands. Okay. For some of you, you might feel like, all right, it shouldn't be this hard. I know this is like coming out of nowhere. I do feel this is very positive here on the back end, but intuitively, I'm getting that vibe. All right, this is too much of a struggle, or that was too much of a struggle. It shouldn't be this much of a fight. Take that for what it's worth. Like whether that's something you might be feeling or somebody else, they might feel like something's a little too difficult. However, that's not the whole main message here. When I get the Five of Swords in reverse, this represents a conflict ending. Okay, this represents selfishness ending. This represents narcissism or narcissistic individuals ending, going out. So I'm liking this energy here on the back end because to me it feels more magnetic. That regardless of what it is you're going through, who you're dealing with, the power of this energy from front to back, it's like, okay, it's coming towards you. Like, so something big energetically at the very least is moving towards you. And you might feel that, especially with this High Priestess. You might feel it in the air. You might feel it in the ether. So once again, yes, the wins, the victories, it's all over the place in every single one of these things. Although we do have a couple of little, I don't want to say choppy, but little side messages for some of you that you might be going through something difficult, and that's okay. When I get the Five of Swords in reverse under the Six of Wands, it's like, okay, finally things are going my way type of energy. So we got big victorious energy here on the back, and it's coming towards you magnetically. Claim these energies. Let's go through and do a quick little recap here, because I felt like this was a very complex type of spread this week, Gemini. Then we'll get into the shadow card. But position number one, we do have the High Priestess with the Four of Wands in the upright. Beautiful energy. So spiritually in tune. You might feel like you're getting signs and omens from Spirit. Extra sensitive to your perception of subtle energies. It's all over the place here. Intuitively, you might feel like something big is coming. But I'm just loving this stability, and it does feel like something coming out of nowhere with the way these positive cards are springing forth from this High Priestess, the unexpected, surprising winner victory. It's beautiful. Moving to the center, we have the Chariot with the Six of Swords in the upright, continuing to move forward. Nothing stopping your progress. Both are cards of travel and action. We really like this alignment. I did say for a portion of you, maybe you're feeling left in the dust. Maybe you're feeling left behind, little abandonment feelings. But for the most of you, this feels like Spirit saying like, all right, keep it pushing, keep it moving. Everything's going to be fine. Because you're continuing to move towards victory, or should I say victory's moving towards you, because on the back end, we do have the Six of Wands with the Five of Swords in the upright. I did say maybe there is someone that feels like, all right, it shouldn't have to be this hard, or this shouldn't be such a battle, of course. But mainly to me, it feels like just this beautiful positive energy is moving towards you magnetically, and that's something that I would claim here. The selfish individuals moving out, the narcissistic individuals moving out, the conflict moving out. So we're liking the flow of energy here, Gemini. Please take a screenshot. Let's get you a shadow card real quick and see what's in the shadows, whether it's something within yourself or it's something you might not possibly or might not see at the moment. Let's see what's in the shadows for Gemini, please. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end. It's very introspective to me. I feel like it's a nice cherry on top, nice way to end it. So let's get one shadow card here for Gemini, please. What's in the shadows, my gods? Thank you. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, big money focus here. Some of you might be trying to distract your attention, distract your focus, and putting your mind towards the material or work things. When we have the Queen of Pentacles, this could also be representing an earth sign. I always say she's very similar to the Empress. So when we see the Queen of Pentacles, that Empress light type of energy within the shadows, I do say, once again, with what we were seeing within the spread itself, that a lot of you could have some nice blessings coming your way that you don't quite see just yet. Okay, even if you're like in the thick of something or in the eye of the storm, this is Spirit saying like, hey, it's coming. Like this abundance, these blessings are coming. But to me, what are some shadow sides of the Queen of Pentacles? If you don't have rough connections with an earth sign, sometimes she could be a little stubborn, right? Sometimes the Queen of Pentacles, she's not really willing to flex or change. You know, like you can't teach her new ways, or she's set in her ways type of energy. So you might be dealing with an individual that is like a creature of habit, and they're very set in their ways, where there is just something that's hard to budge. But either way, I feel like this Queen of Pentacles is more positive than anything else, my friends. Unless you're connected with an earth sign that's left a mark. But yeah, Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. For the September subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 2 lucky winners to win 2 tarot decks completely at random. It will be a winner's choice. So if you want to get the Gilded Tarot, you could go ahead and do that. If you want the Everyday Witches Tarot, that's your choice as well. Any deck under $40 US will be given away. So if you'd like to get your name in for this one, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments which zodiac signs you get along best with. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.